Alright, so calling in spirit. Clearing out any energies that aren't needed. Keeping all those that are here for the purpose of a general collective reading. Today I'm going to try something a little bit differently. I want to see if I can get my sound quality to be consistent and my voiceover to be concurrent or at the same time. Let's see how that goes. Pulling from this deck, the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. It is considered pretty by some of my friends, which is nice. I also think it is beautiful. The art is quite nice. But I'm still learning it. I'm not as familiar with it, even in my hand. So let's see how this goes. All of my cards are usually pre-shuffled for clarity and whatever my next purpose is. But I still like to integrate a shuffle where I invite in more of that energy for the collective, that guidance. All right. And we're going to go with that. Thank you, Spirit. I'm getting a sense that this might be emotionally fulfilling, whether it is a hard truth or not. So let's go with it. First, it looks like we have the Seven of Wands. So, in the past position here, the activity of the mind, what have we been ruminating over? What is it that we need? It seems like it's been really tough, but honestly, the message I'm seeing here is perseverance. To continue on, even if it feels like there is a sense of competition or a challenge that you've been facing, to continue on. And in whatever form you have it, faith. Even if it's in yourself and your own capacity. Now, in the position of the present, the problem for the collective at this time, we're looking at the swords, which is a place of reason, and 9. Just immediately, this looks like grieving what we wish could come to be, what we want to come to fruition, not seeming to be happening. But that being the problem, the, again, advice about this depression and anxiety that we're so naturally feeling is to come, and that's in the third position, which is spirit and the future, what can we expect? And when I see cards in reverse, oftentimes I get a little antsy about that in my own nature, but I don't think that's how it is. Just like death and the Tower can mean the most radical positive change that you never expected or could see coming, even through pain. I do think that cards in reverse aren't all or nothing or black and white, good or bad. So let's dive into this one. Okay, so here we have the Empress in reverse. What we can continue to anticipate might look like domestic problems, things in our own nation continuing to have conflict, things amongst our relationships, financial challenges. We might continue to feel like there is a lack of affection amongst our peers or our loved ones at times because of our differences. And there might become times where this affects our health or our creativity. So it's extra important to make sure that we are tending to ourselves at this time. So if this is the position of advice, if things continue on as they are, that is what we can look to, and that doesn't sound very good. So let's go ahead and make sure that we are tending to ourselves with self-care and community care, reaching out for help, asking for it from the people that we're close with, tending to one another when we can, how we can, as we can, with what we have, even if it's just listening, checking in. No doubt the difficulties of this time are valid. You are valid, your emotions are valid. Not everything is illness. Sometimes it's grief. And sometimes it's trauma. So we're going to need to do some nurturing, y'all. Bring back in that protective energy, creativity, allow in the mystery, allow in love. Allow your own ideas to move through you differently if you can, because we do need something different. It's time for something new. And to add to this, today we're going to see what sort of compassionate hearts we can awaken within. When we're having such a hard time, it can be extra hard to maintain our sense of compassion for ourselves and others. So I'm going to try to pull some of these for us today. And maybe just one. I think that this deck is pretty potent. Pema Chodron's compassion cards, all of the teachings stacked in this little deck. Pretty incredible. This was a find in Asheville. All right. Don't compete with others. Don't compete with them. Don't even let yourself begin to. It's a losing game. Don't try to be the fastest or the best. You know, I said I'd pull some, and this one is potent in itself, but I will pull one more at least. Train in the 3 difficulties. The 3 difficulties, or the 3 difficult practices, are to recognize your own neurosis as neurosis. Then, to not do the habitual thing, but to do something different, to interrupt the neurotic habit, and then to make this a way of life. The 3 difficulties. That is tough, right? Making change within. But if we see it from the perspective of this card, allowing compassion to see it as something we are working on training ourselves to do. our own choice. We're in training, our own sort of endurance and practice. But it's your choice to train in these 3 difficulties. It's what you choose to do in these moments and in this way. Notice what is your own. Change your habit and try to make it a practice. And I want to encourage that to be inviting in love anytime it seems like there's something else in place of it. And also power and patience with others. Whatever you need, whatever's missing, invite that in. Okay, and for the last component here, the deck of the Bhagavad Gita, a rich spiritual text, at least for me. I don't think I could ever read it enough, or understand it enough, or comprehend it enough in my humility. But I always seem to find good wisdoms from Spirit. And they speak to you at a different angle or a different perspective than some of the others. It's using the language of God, but whatever that is to you. Just taking out an extra piece that we don't need in the deck. It's kind of clogging things up, and since I think everything about the reading is supposed to be a part of it, don't let other people clog you up. Things that don't belong. Look how uniform it is when it all fits together nicely, when things aren't clogging it up that don't belong. You can set boundaries, limits, remove. It's not all just about peace keeping, just because we're inviting in compassion. All right, Spirit, I'm ready for this card. The one that is for the collective, to see you more clearly during this difficult time, to know you more closely. Master of Mystics. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will always be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. I hold this to be true. Invite this into yourself and do your research if it helps you. I hope it does. When I think about the story of Arjuna, I think about the grief that we have to face. I think about that looking like a war amongst our loved ones, but that one day we will wake up. That one day we will wake up to the ones next to us, bloodied and bruised even, and recognize that we're all okay. So think about who is costing you and who is making you do this fighting. Notice your loved ones. In this story here, everyone has their role to play. So it encourages acceptance of the times at hand as they are, and to fight the battle before you to some degree. But I'm not an expert, so any other wisdoms are always welcomed. All right. Thank you so much. What a fine reading. Thank you, Spirit. If you've benefited from this and you'd like to see anything more like it, please do like and subscribe. I'll be doing my best to continue to do my research in astrology and more specifically moonology. Today we can speak about the state of the moon and what that represents. All right, thank you. Blessings. Take care. Peace out.